Hello, my name is Gabriel Rana, and this is my TED Talk project for college rhetoric. My title is Technology Isn't the Problem, We Are. When people talk about my generation, Gen Z, the main thing they think about is phones, distraction, low attention span, and any sort of thing like that. They always say that we're just, I don't know, just not in it. And it shows sometimes at school. That's true, we are. We are distracted a lot. But people are blaming the wrong thing for our distraction and our disarrangement and our lack of social cue. And they blame it on technology, iPhones in specific. But that's not right. Um, we all say phones and doom scrolling are bad, but we still do it. So the problem is Instagram Reels or TikTok. It's not knowing when to turn off your phone, put it aside, and just say I'm done for it with a day. Think about this: the same phone that you have right in front of you. That can also be bad. That can always be bad. You can just search up YouTube video and just be lost for 30, 40 minutes. Though that same little thing can teach you something that you didn't know, whether it's a sermon, a new Bible verse, new job information, new university information, emails, whatever it might be. So that tool, iPhones in specific, can be used for both good and bad. So if something can be used for both good and bad, is it really the problem, or is it us? Connecting that same problem to the Garden of Eden, we all know God makes everything for the good and His glory. And when we take His creation, His glory, and misuse it without God, that's what a sin is called. That connects really every day to phones. Phones were meant for us to connect, have community, work together, see what people are doing in their lives. But instead, we've turned it into something that's just takes up my time, 2 hours, whatever it might be. So for us, especially as believers, we will still struggle with our phones until we have the humility to say, hey, this is bad. I have a problem with using my phone, and take responsibility for it instead of blaming the thing itself. So in every day, it's not just what we use, it's how we use it. I mean, to be fair, that is pretty hard to say, I'm going to put my phone aside, because the apps are literally designed to just grab your attention and hold you there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it might be. They want you to stay there, scroll one more time, click on one more YouTube video. And sometimes, before you even realize it, you've been on your phone 30 to 40 minutes. But this struggle isn't new. Everyone struggles with it. Even Paul. In Romans, Paul writes, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate to do, I do. It's a crazy verse. But that's exactly what it feels like to be on your phone all the time. You don't want to waste your time, but you still do. But at the end of the day, your phone doesn't control who you are. You do. That's tough as humans because we naturally just want to grab something and control it. But once we put it in the hands of God, I don't know, it kind of relieves pressure, it relieves weight off your shoulders. But it's definitely easier, absolutely easier to say, oh, this app is addictive. 2 hours won't hurt me, whatever it might be. I don't have control over my habits. But, you got to be able to say, hey, I have a problem with this. But it's very uncomfortable. Confession is very, very uncomfortable. I could see why people that I even struggle with. In my own life, there would be times that I look on my phone and next thing I know, I'm on it for 2 hours or 30 minutes or scrolling 15 times. And for some reason in that moment, I feel like I have control and everything's gone, which is really weird, which shows that I need to keep putting my trust in God instead of my idols, like my phone can be or whatever it might be. But there's a bigger issue we're facing. It's not technology, it's our responsibility. Because discipline is way harder than blaming something else. It's easy to say, oh, if I failed a test, the test was hard. Or if I did bad in a hardness discussion, for example, oh, well, I didn't get a chance to talk. Everyone stole my talking points. Or you could just study, work harder, and make everything else in your life easier and get A's. What's easier, It's obviously going to be blaming something but that won't get you anywhere in life. Micah 6:8 says, "What the Lord require of you, to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God." That's our theme verse for this year. Part of humility is being honest with ourselves. If we're not honest with ourselves, life honestly will just suck for you. Life is very hard, but God has given you everything you need to get through life. And if we don't put our trust in God, be prone to like what's real, what we do, our problems, our sin, we will not be able to walk with God. And God is the one who gives us generously, who helps us guide us on our path, who puts us in the right opportunities to be able to walk with you and walk with God. It's way harder to say I need to be more intentional with my time than it is just delete an app and hope that fixes everything. Intentionality is really difficult, especially in our day and age, especially for my generation, because we've all just been born with slow attention spans. Like, you can't just sit down and look out the window for 30 minutes. That's just very difficult for us. And I think everyone can agree with that in my generation, but we need to be able to take hold of that and walk with God more. And here's the truth. Even if you delete one app, another will take its place. Because the real problem was never the app. It was us and our lack of self-control. Now, some people argue, no, that's not true. It's not as simple as it says. These apps are built to just control you, which is true, they are. But just because something is built for something does not mean that we're a slave and controlled to it. Because we're built to love God and worship God, but sometimes people drift away from that. So people that use that logic are not being real themselves for some reason. But it's hard, again, still harder than you say it. How harder than I say it is. You still decide to get on your phone, take your attention on whatever you think deserves it. But we need to be able to realize, okay, the thing that needs my attention is God. And when we take our attention on God, it reminds us that God's in control. Ecclesiastes says this over and over and over again, that when we put our control in something that we want, like if our main focus is wisdom, we'll just lose grasp. But when our main focus is God, you grab hold of God and hold on to Him and hold firm to Him. When you focus on God, you become more focused in your life, more intentional, more aware of how you're spending your time. And suddenly, technology can just boom, stop being as much of a distraction and start becoming a tool you can actually use to grow, learn, and improve. So I'm not saying you need to throw your phone away. I'm not saying social media is evil. I'm saying be honest with yourself. Pay attention to how you're using it. Because if you don't decide what deserves your time, something else will decide for you. And before you notice, it's too late. So put your attention on God and trust Him that He will walk with you. And most of the time, it won't have your best interest in mind, but that's okay. That's fine. But sometimes you'll be in moments that are just very important. And also, a practical tool that would help us is being community, being a good group of believers that you can just be honest with. James 5:16 says, "Confess your sins to one another and pray for one another, that you may be healed." That takes humility to confess your sins. That takes ownership of you. So instead of blaming distractions, what if we take responsibility for them? Technology is and will always be powerful. But who's more powerful? Is it the phone or is it God? And I always ask yourself this question: will you be in control of your situations, or will you let God be in control of your situations? That's my TED Talk on why phones aren't necessarily the problem of our distraction. It's us and our taking of humility and ownership. Thank you.